started every single match for Senegal. Papa Ndiaye is one of them. So is El Hadj Kane, Falilou Fall, Albert Dieng and Dominic Mendy. It's a strong-looking side from the Senegalese outfit. Audrey Nkole from Zambia is our match referee today, with Diana Chikotesha from the same country as the near-side assistant referee. Ivanildo Lopez on the far side is the assistant referee out in the sunshine, and Brighton Chimene from Zimbabwe is our fourth official for this grand finale of the 20th COSAFA Cup. It's based in South Africa this time around, the COSAFA Cup. Joined upstairs by the legendary former Swazi international goalkeeper William Shongwe, and I'm sure that you'll be thoroughly entertained this afternoon, not only with the football but with the utterances from two guys that have been with the COSAFA Cup since its inception back in 1997. So we go as far as the tournament has gone. Underway then in Buja. It is South Africa. Bafana in the yellow, playing from left to right. Take on the Senegalese side, who play in white today with a little strip of green down the sleeve and down the side of the shorts as well. The numbers are green as well from the Senegalese outfit. William Shongwe, you made your way up from the side of the pitch. Nice analysis down there. Oh, what do you think of this one?
Huffing and puffing, and I'm still trying to catch my breath, but hey, it's going to be out here where you got full view of what's happening down there. Yes, it's going to be difficult. I think the fact that this is a final also create pressure of its own, and depends on who handles the nerves better, and these are young stars from both sides. Of course, I still need to deal with that, but I think with all the success that they've had coming here, both teams will be feeling very confident. With Bafana having not considered that is added value into how they approach this game today.
Now let's have a look at that. 9 goals they've scored, and 5 clean sheets in 5 outings, and a very good one for them as well. William Waters kept 4 of those clean sheets, and the reserve goalkeeper Lincoln Pfeiffer from Cape Town Spurs kept the other, and that was against Zambia. But South Africa, you know, one of the clear things, when you look at the starting lineup, you have a look at South Africa, not one single player has played every single match, or one, in the starting lineup. If you look at the Senegalese side, well, 5 out of the 11 have played every single match, and including some of the stars of the game, like the goalkeeper Ndiaye, like Dieng, like Mendy, like Fall. Is that going to be the difference? Tight legs?
Yes, without a doubt. For me, if there's one thing that Bafana does have, is the legs are a little bit freshened up. Like you said, not all the players have played in all the games, so that means their recovery is a little bit better than that of Senegal. So towards the end, the second half in particular, might just be very, very challenging for the Senegalese, and this is a part of the game that they control better towards the end. Can they keep it up?
March at home there. Wulasane will clear for Senegal. Right-sided fullback, chase back there for Siatemba Setebe. Alongside of Veli Motra, had a fantastic season for Amazulu. And let's just talk about Amazulu for a while before we continue with this one. And talk about Kaizer Chiefs first. Kaizer Chiefs against Al Ahly last night. You must have got the result of that match by now, surely. Al Ahly winning by 3-0, and congratulations to the South African connection there. Pitso Mosamani, and unfortunate for Stuart Baxter and Amakosi, no star for them. But that loss for Kaizer Chiefs means that Amazulu will play in the Champions League, because if it had been, if Chiefs had won that match, Chiefs would have played in the Champions League alongside the Mamelodi Sundowns. We only allowed 2 teams. Amazulu finishing second in the Premier League would have lost out, but Amazulu will play in the Champions League next year.
Sure, I mean them finishing second qualifies them that.
But it wouldn't have if Chiefs had won the Champions League this time. That's why I'm bringing it up, because Chiefs losing in the final against Zelakli means that Amazulu's Veli Motwa and Siatembe Zitebe in this starting lineup today play Champions League football. And that's a great credit to Amazulu. It's a great credit to Benny. Lots to talk about here, William. Patrice Motsepe has flown the width of the continent, not only the width but the length of the continent, diagonally from the furthest northwest corner to the southeast coast of South Africa, from the CAF Champions League final to the final of the 20th COSAFA Cup. Big hats off to the president of CAF.
You can't grace. Yes, it's a continental tournament as president and miss one that is happening in your own background. And I guess that's the statement he's trying to make, that obviously loves his country and he's going to be here for his region.
Well, I think it's absolutely brilliant that he's...
And of course they were able to win under very difficult circumstances.
We've spoken already in this early stages about the 5 players that have played in every single match for Senegal. As you pause that thought for a moment, just a little bit of space on the edge of the penalty area for South Africa, but Senegal looked nicely organised. Just remember, if you go back to the first match that Senegal played in Group B, where they finished on top, they lost to Namibia by 2-1. There was a lot of naivety, particularly between the centre backs. Well, they've rectified that, and the longer the tournament's gone on, the better Senegal have looked.
In the way, there's a number of areas, of course, that I think they've looked defensively, they've improved quite a bit, but also in the structure of what they want to achieve as a team. The diagonal balls that gets played into the running wide players, but very important how, when they don't have the ball, how they play very compact in the middle, parking assistance to the defense. But this man, for me, the most experienced of all in goals for Senegal, has also played his part.
Sitembe Zitebe there with a free kick for Bafana Bafana. Header away from the midfielder Alassane Kante, who gave away the free kick in the first place. Daruk looking for a little bit of space for Nico Bobby, and looking for a corner as well, the South African side are not going to get it. There's a man who's had a good tournament, Albert Dieng.
Just looking at that ball played from deep, from Mount, who obviously when there's a set piece, it sits a little bit deep into the center of the park, so that he picks up the spills, and he likes to hang the balls just behind the defensive line, obviously looking for that man running underneath, and that is what we've observed. The quality of his range is just unbelievable.
So the quality of his range might be unbelievable. But how about that shot from the left-hand side with his right foot in the semi-final against Mozambique? Is something quite incredible. And if Brian Mato was in commentary, he'd probably go on about Simonio or something like that.
I'm not going to try to force you to say it again. Silo Samanyu. Something
exactly. I mean, it gets me to do all this difficult stuff like Maloma 1000. Mataho. And we'll get there.
Oh, man.
Down goes El Haj Kane, an important part of this team's makeup, the holding midfielder, 24-year-old from Giraffe, playing in his 6th match today. We took one in the tummy. I think
Yes,
that's the problem.
yes.
He's wounded himself.
It's a very difficult part of the chest. Just underneath the chest, if a ball or anything that hits you, it's the one part where they're very sensitive. And if it's not quite protected, this is wounded or something.
Referee Audric Nkoli is from Zambia. His father is Aaron Nkoli, a former FIFA referee in his own right and now a match commissioner in Zambia. So Audric Nkoli comes from good stock and gets the benefit of conducting himself as the main man in the middle in the 20th COSAFACup final here in Buja. So Sitembe will benefit from the drop ball in the middle of the park. Senegal down to 10 men at the moment as they wait for the central defender El Haj Kane to come back on to the field of play. One of 3 players from the club Giraffe that are in the starting lineup today. Giraffe de Dakar. Goalkeeper Papa Ndiaye is one of them. Al-Bibti and the number 7 we saw a few moments ago is another. Ball from Daruk. And South Africa look as if they're dominating the pace of the match. Between Jabula Ngobo, Daruk and Nico Bobby. Bobby been given a much wider role to play in the wing-back position. So Tebe fighting hard in the middle of the park, so is Mohamed Mart, but they've just been outgunned for a moment here by the youthful Senegalese side. Bar takes a big clatter. And what is the referee going to do here, Mr. Audric Nkoli?
I'm not sure how else can would Novo have dealt with that, because all he did was make a block. And I thought he got to the ball first, but I'm sure we'll have the opportunity to see the replay. Just how bad did he go overboard, or is the ref was obviously maybe put under pressure by the scream of the player, and he assumed that it must have been a very harsh one. I thought he got to the ball first. That for me is the determining factor to how the decision goes.
And it would have been a tough tournament, and we have to revisit time and time again over the course of the 90 minutes that we'll have as far as regulation time is concerned. Don't forget this match for the first time in the tournament.
I don't think the stats were showing. The side of the boot was a little bit to the side, and he made sure that he doesn't put them up there such that they are showing. He did everything he could to avoid that very part that is normally considered as very ugly or dangerous.
But he still made contact with the player, unnecessarily so, because he went in high. And anyway, I think he's a bit lucky to get away with that, in my opinion. But we're allowed to disagree, Mr. Shongwe.
Yes.
Free kick here to Senegal. Players to the left and to the right hand side. Mendy, a little float in there. Daruk will make sure of the clearance. Second ball to the Bafana side. I heard the coach saying that they're not concerned about the way Senegal will structure themselves, because they feel they have everything in their arsenal. From they have everything in their arsenal, South Africa, to deal with anything that Senegal throw at them, whether it's wide play, whether it's central play, whether it's defensive play or attacking play. South Africa have it covered, and that's very positive from the coach.
I still must must see exactly how are they going to deal with the high balls played into the area, because the physique is what is another factor that they do have going for them, the Senegalese. They do have more aerial presence when it comes to ball play into the area, more especially in set pieces, because they've got the opportunity to bring in the defenders who wouldn't be there under open play.
They do like the wing play with Gite and Abdou Diop to Senegal, but here Dominic Mendy is going to look more for that height inside the penalty area. Nobody challenging from a Senegal point of view. Second ball again for South Africa, but the third ball's gone to Senegal. Just whipped forward, anywhere will do on the Senegalese side. Diop again, a little searching ball in towards Rushin Daruk. The 25-year-old Mamelodi Sundowns defended us nicely. This is Willa Sane, who loves to get up the touchline. Running away from the support a little bit, but eventually picks up Bar. And again, Bar goes down, and again there's a mighty cry from the man who went down with a similar vocal effort a few moments ago. Well shepherded wide by Tabani Dube from Richards Bay FC, and if anything, there's a
I think in that moment, Mark did exactly that.
Well, they're playing a nice high press at the moment. Senegal spoke about whether they'd have the legs or not, as 5 of those players that have played every single match in the tournament so far. But we look at the average age of Senegal, and 6 teenagers in the starting lineup, and the average age must be probably around about 21. I'll do a calculation at half-time. In comparison to that, the South African average age must be at least 4 or 5 years older than that. So, yeah. These sort of things need to be taken into consideration. Both sides have gotten themselves in the final. Once you're in the final of a competition, anything can happen, and teams can come from behind. Just look what Italy did against England in the Euro final. Conceded a goal very early on. Came back and won the thing on penalties. Talking about penalties, William, if this went to a penalty shootout, Senegal must certainly fancy themselves after Ndiaye's heroics against Eswatini, and 3 goals to 0 in the penalty shootout. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it'll come into this final always boosted by that very fact, and the whole team will have a bigger belief. Bafana have not been tested thus far to go in as far as a shootout, so I'm not sure just how are they going to feel should this game drag to that stage of the game.
Free kick time for Bafana. 16 minutes into the first half. Don't forget, this match can go to extra time and penalties. Easy save for Papa Ndiaye. Had a little bit of a good direction from Mart, but certainly not the power that we expected from that sort of situation. Gite, and one easy save at one end of the ground leads to one easy save at the other end, with Velimoto getting his hands on the ball. 4 times he's played for Bafana in this tournament.
From the same player that just missed the header a few minutes ago. That is Bar. So I think that they'll be continuously on the lookout for great ball play into the area. In this case, the ball was hanging. It was lobbed. And sometimes you need a ball that comes with a little bit of pace to be able to direct it to go without having to exact yourself so much.
Long searching ball from Bafana, looking to get a little bit of space available to swing that ball in towards Victor Letsawalo. Let's talk about Victor Letsawalo for a while. Comes in on debut, scores a hat-trick, and then scores from the penalty spot as well against Mozambique, the 3rd goal in that match. So he's the tournament's leading goal scorer and could potentially go on to lift that trophy in around about 2 hours' time.
The right hand of Kante. It might not have looked like much, but it ended up into the tummy. And because of the fast movement that sometimes we miss from here, you might think that it wasn't much. But that type of touches can get a player winded.
Sitebe moves away from the ball as Manapule Saleng delivers the left-footed effort towards the edge of the Senegalese penalty area. Dangerous man, a man who's had a tremendous season for the first division side, Free State Stars Ilakoto. Leading goal scorer with 13 in the first division of South African football. Nico Mobby wants to get on with things quickly. He's going to leave the throw into Mohamed Mart, Yusuf Mart from COSAFACup2021 United. Already been spoken about after that wonderful goal that he scored against Mozambique yesterday as a potential target for Premier League sides. Well, who knows? COSAFACup2021 United might very well play in the Premier League in the coming season, as there are matters still unresolved as far as that's concerned. Bar misses out to Sitebe. And South Africa slowly but surely starting to press the Senegalese back into their half. They're starting to defend a little higher towards the halfway line. And they're starting to look for those little angles in amongst the Senegalese defenders to see where the goal's going to come from. This is much more impressive. They're dominating the pace of the match. South Africa in control here, William.
Yes, without a doubt. But what still works in favour of Senegal is the fact that they've stayed compact. Bafana Bafana might be having quite a bit of the chunk of possession, but the shape and control of the defensive half Senegal is still pretty much safe.
Getting a touch back to Willis Sane, the 19-year-old from Stade de Buja. Diop into the middle to Rokul clear. Sitebe with a touch. And South Africa getting themselves in the right positions to not allow Senegal to completely dominate. Good work done in there by Spelele Mkhulise.
And I think we saw a similar start for Bafana Bafana in their previous game against Mozambique. The build-up play was a little bit out of balance with the left-hand side, not coming into the park in a big way. That is where the really is. But once they get it right in the first half, they were flowing and furiously going forward with numbers at every given point. So I guess maybe we are more likely to see a little bit of that they still are trying to settle down into the rhythm of the game.
Smile on the face of the 24-year-old Bloemfontein Celtic striker Victor Letsowalo. If you know the way that Bloemfontein Celtic play their football, it's that flowing sort of game where players rush towards the penalty area. I don't think we're going to see too much of that today, and he's going to have to adapt his style a little bit here, Victor Letsowalo. But he does have good support. Saleng wide, Mark through the middle, and Khalees is in there as well. You've got Nico Mobby, who can throw the supply in there, and Mohamed Mart can score goals, Saleng can score goals. So yeah, let's see how this one pans out. We're just over 20 minutes past in the first half. No score in this one yet, just to remind you that the only match in the tournament that could go to extra time is this one. A little cut inside from Albert Dieng. Again, they run out of space. Second ball, though, is to Willis Sane at the rather shortish left-sided fullback, and an apology from Dominic Mendy. Sitebe.
Happy to let Bafana Bafana have it. I think every now and then maybe they'll apply the high press, but it only takes once the ball get a leg into the halfway line, that's where they come alive as Senegal. So you might find that Bafana Bafana are having a big chunk of ball position based on the fact that they're being allowed to have it in their defensive half.
The rook in possession. You know, one could talk about head-to-heads between Senegal years, but it certainly wouldn't be at this age group. I don't think certainly there'd be a lot more of the bigger names in for both of those countries, but they did meet most recently in 2017. Foul by Falilu Fall. Mobby is getting a lot forward for South Africa today.
Yeah, it's a trip from GT.
South Africa have had a number of free kicks already at the start of the match. GT's had a good tournament. Papa GT, 18-year-old from Kneps Excellence. 2 goals for him, 2 goals for Abu Diop. Saleng with Sitebe looking to try and open the defences of Senegal, who have a two-man wall between the free kick taker and Papandiaï.
So you want to swing out or swing in. You have two players that can swing it both ways.
Absolutely wasteful.
The challenge with an in swinger is that you don't want to bring it too close to the goalkeeper. He's a very tall goalkeeper, and he's trying to bend it a little bit away so that the goalkeeper doesn't come out. But then he puts too much weight into the pass that it goes all the way over.
Not in any great hurry to get the ball back into play. He's the 28-year-old goalkeeper for Senegal. He's played every minute in the starting lineup for the Lions of Teranga. Marks. Bobby looking to get into the action again. Thanks to Mr. Shongwe for that, actually. I was calling them the Teranga Lions, and he said, no, Mr. Evans, please, point of correction. Order, honourable member. Were his words. It's the Lions of Teranga.
Danke.
Ja, nee. Marts. One throw in, keeper stays on his line, and the header is just over the top from Victor Sawalo, looking for his 5th goal of the tournament.
Just running away with it. And I was worried earlier on in the tournament that there's just so many players that are on 3 goals. And how's the money going to be divided? Because it's 20,000 for the top goal scorer, 20,000 for the player of the tournament, and 20 for the best goalkeeper.
Well, unless Jopo Gite get a hat-trick and Letsawala doesn't score, it's going to be Letsawala's money, because that's the closest players to Gite, but to Letsawala. Diop and Gite both on 2 goals apiece, and Letsawala's got double that amount in any event. So a bit of space here for the man we're talking about, Gite. It's good defence. Ahmed Mart coming back in, dropping and doing a lot of defensive work here in the opening stages of this encounter. He's a box-to-box player, and he's playing that way today, and with enormous potential. Dominic Mendy. Well, a little bit of a slip on that side by Abu Diop. Layoff from Bar. Nigu. Falilu Fall. Not the best first touch from Falilu Fall, but manages to regain possession. Not a bad ball in there either. Daruk is called upon to defend. The ball poached back by Mendy, and all of a sudden Senegal have upped their work rate again as we head up towards half an hour played. They're prepared to have shots here. Senegal, not a bad effort from DN.
It's the diagonal balls that for me have been very impressive. I mean, they can switch the ball from the one channel to the other swiftly. And not only that, but if you talk DN and Gite, they always open up very nicely to be able to profit from a switch. And depending on how the opposition is defending, on how they're able to shift to cover the channel that has been left with a bit of space, that can be a problem. I think that's where Eswatini suffered quite a bit. The shifting from the one channel to the other and covering the diagonal ball was a little bit slower at times.
Plenty of ball from Jabula Ngobo through Daruk. Wide out onto the left-hand side of defence as well. Daruk looking very composed with a touch through the middle, and almost looked like Mobby was going to get an intervention there, but it's not. Space in front of goal here, and there's a lovely opportunity. Right netting, that's beautiful play. Talking about the angle balls, with the diagonal balls, if Senegal can play them, South Africa can play them just as well. And Letsawalo, that's twice in a row now that he's come close.
It doesn't look like he got to the ball. Letsawalo got to the ball. In fact, I think under a bit of pressure of their oncoming big goalkeeper, put him off slightly. Now, was there contact at all from Letsawalo? Great ball, squeezed through, and then he loops it over into the running Letsawalo. I don't think Letsawalo did much he might have caught him with the trailing leg. Now let's look at this.
Yeah, there might have been a bit on the left leg of India, but nothing purposeful. And Letawala clearly going for goal. Letawala, he's 24 years old. He's in the most central region of South Africa, in Bloemfontein, Mangaung, leading goal scorer of this tournament.
And I saw him when he was still at Morocco. What I noticed clearly about his ability was his speed. He doesn't play as a top man, but here he's being played as a top man. But Celtic plays him a little bit to the side, and sometimes more number 10 with Mabena, between them and Mabena exchanging that top position. But it's his run from deep position that seemingly is key for him.
Ball from Kante doesn't reach GT. Nicely away by Nico Mobby, but this is Willa Sane. Abu Diop, Sane, Nigu in the middle, but then for that matter so is Al-Haj Khane. Now it's Falilu Fall, and South Africa just hustling Senegal a bit more. When you have South Africa behind the halfway line with possession like that, you don't often find a lot of Senegalese pressure coming, but as soon as Senegal tried the same thing, there was a lot more hustle from South Africa, pressurizing that defensive four into making a mistake of some sort. A little hustle here, talking about hustle from Papajite. No problems whatsoever for the South African defense with Mobo and company. Bobby. Nicely inside to Monapule Saleng, and assistant referee with a flag. The referee's gone to the pocket. Nigu, 19-year-old from the club called Lingari. They play in the second division in Senegal. He picks the first man to pick up a booking in the match.
It looked like he was clearing the ball, but I think he was a bit reckless at it. He was late.
He was hardly going to let Letawala out of his sight, because he's the danger man for South Africa, has been since the match got underway. First yellow card of the game confirmed there. We just over half an hour played in the COSAFA Cup final for 2021. Neither one of the two sides has really dominated matters up to now, and coach Morena Ramoreboli will be very happy to see his leading marksman back on the feet. And a nice touch there as well from Suabu Nigu to offer his apology. Spoken about it many times when we've been on air, when Senegal have played, William, and how much they've learned from the tournament, how much they're going to learn from playing in a final, how much they're going to learn from playing every second day at international level, even back-to-back like they did on Tuesday and Wednesday. A lecture for Tabani Dube, the first division-based centre-back from Richards Bay FC, way up the coast, in Kutuzi Sports Complex, other side of Durban from here. Sitebe. Not the greatest convincing clearance from Senegal. There was a touch in there from Rasheen Daruk as well. Attempted breakaway by Dien. It's not going to help matters. Sitebe. Mobi. Just controlling matters again in the pocket. Mohamed Mart. Daruk in South Africa once again control the pace of the game. As we said, the last time these two teams met was in November of 2017. World Cup qualifiers for Russia 2018. Senegal won in South Africa by 2-0. Sacco and an own goal from Mkize. And when they played away, it was Senegal 2, South Africa 1. Gwet and Boji. Tau scoring for South Africa. And hasn't Tau come along in leaps and bounds as far as his young football career is concerned? South Africa didn't go to Russia 2018. Senegal did. They finished in Group H in third place, behind Colombia and Japan, and in front of Poland, bowed out of the competition before the knockout stages. But Senegal is a regular visitor to the FIFA World Cup finals, and don't forget in 2002 when France went to South Korea and Japan to defend their title that they'd won at home in 1998 in South Africa's return to the competition. Played in the same group, in fact, as France. And I was in Marseille, Bordeaux and Toulouse during that tournament. Privileged to have been there as well. But talking about Senegal, France went to South Korea and Japan as the defending champions. In the opening round, the opening match of the tournament, they meet Senegal, and Senegal beat them. First time that's happened for an African country against a defending champion. Phenomenal. This side has got as much of a phenomenal record in international football as South Africa does.
Do not forget, though, Argentina wins it in 1986, and then they go play against Cameroon in the next World Cup in 1990 in Italy, and Cameroon beat them.
Yep. There's been some good performances from African sides, and are we going to see an African side even in a semi-final, let alone in the quarter-finals in a tournament? Nigu with a bit of a high boot there and getting away with it in front of referee Audrey Nkole. Pushed forward by Nobo, picked out by Albert Dieng. Little run around from Alassane Kante. Neither side has played with any great flourish at the moment, but neither side giving anything away either. Player down is the 23-year-old Giraffe, left-handed winger, Dieng.
Yeah, he got caught by Moby. And I'm a little bit surprised that it wasn't picked up by the Iranian middle, because it was closest to the action when it happened. Clipped in around the angle. There was a moment in that semi-final against Eswatini where they looked like they were on the back foot. In fact, they went so far back as far as conceding 2-0 in that first half performance. Once again, is how they bounce back from such situations. We've seen them over and over. Their comebacks are just incredible. And Bafana will do well to maybe get one ahead just so that they control the game better, because that second half performance is something that I'm sure they will be looking at as an advantage.
Bar with a little header, no way through on that occasion for the Senegalese number 9. Jite loses out as well under pressure from Nico Bobby. Bobby continues to improve his football. Played at Free State Stars at the start of his career. Remember that he's Sundowns, Stellenbosch FC, Chipper United to play their football here in the previous season, who will, if we can bear to repeat, have Gavin Hunt as their coach in the new season. And player down here for South Africa. Once again, Victor Letsawado getting the rough end of the stick, and a bit of protest in the middle of the area for Senegal.
And there's a player that has been booked already. He's the central defender of Senegal, Kane. And I'm sure that's the debate right now, whether that is booked or not, and whether it was a foul at all. But I think it's just the legs that tangled. Kane intended to foul him as such, but it deprived him of an opportunity to run to the ball. So as such, it's a foul to Bafana. Now, who's going to take it? Who's got a decent left foot from here, from this angle?
Well, a number of players around the ball. One thinks automatically of Monopole Seleng.
Yes.
He's not the only player that's left-footed, though. Sitebe might fancy something, but one's got to feel that it's the Free State Stars man that will have a crack at this one. And there maybe the Sundowns man would have a little dot.
He's on the block.
Not quite sure about his goal shooting prowesses, though. I would fancy Seleng a little dart here, unless they're going to play a little dummy push and around the end of the wall for Sitebe, or maybe even a shot here for Mohamed Marks,
because he's got both feet.
There are options available. The ball does its job. Does it do it on the second occasion? The answer is yes.
All the angle favor the left-footed player. But also, if you got a right-footed player that can get it over the wall, the goalkeeper still has to shuffle across behind the wall. Sometimes they don't get to see it in time to make the save. So there's always some advantage depending on how or who takes it.
South Africa's only victory against Senegal since 2005 came in an international friendly match. South Africa won by a 1-0 at the Orlando Stadium with Paul McCullough scoring the only goal of that one. That was on the 8th of September 2015. So just short of 6 years since South Africa have beaten Senegal. It's in different competitions, different levels. They've played a couple of friendlies. There's been African Cup of Nations finals meetings in 2015 and 2008, and World Cup qualifiers as well. So they have met each other at very serious competitive level, these two countries. But they meet here today in this historic 20th edition of the COSAFACup final.
But the one in 2017 for me, I think there's a lot that we can say about it. It's a game that was played, and one of the few games that get changed. The score, or should I say, the game finished with Bafana winning, and Sheikh Mashaba is the head coach.
Wait for a moment, because Gite is pushing forward here, looking for an opportunity. He's been clattered into by Sitebe. It's Kante, in fact. Lots of appeals from the Senegalese youngsters. That should be an admonishment for the South African number 14. The referee saying to Alassane Kante, get back on your feet, I'll deal with this myself.
In fact, I saw Dube pointing something that he was saying to the ref, you should have given us a foul before this happened. And Saleng was actually clipped in the process where he lost ball position.
Not the same man who was claiming a foul, but later. We waited until the 40th minute, 41st minute, before we have a corner, and that's gone the way of Senegal. First corner kick of the match, only corner kick of the match so far. Header from Bar, cleared off the line. As Motwa suddenly found himself a little bit wanton to his left-hand side. Good work done by Mohamed Bar. Sitebe with a clearance. So 5 minutes and stoppage time away from half-time in Koberga. This is Nigu. Looking for their little floater down the right to Abu Diop. Lots of chatter, and it's almost as if there's more fans in the stadium, but yeah, we do have FX microphones. It's close to the two respective benches, so there's a lot of sound effects happening from that point of view. This is Falilu Fall, goes around Sitebe. Any sort of touch there from Albert Dien might have been interesting.
Goalkeeper caught in two minds. He came out and decided to stop. Was it on target? Not too sure, but Morgan taking no chances.
Nice header from Bar, equally a good header away by Nico Mwabi. That's what players are called upon. There's a duty to do. You're not just standing on the post to get yourself away from the danger zone. You're right in the thick of things. Motwa clears from the back pass from Sitebe. Dominic Mendy once again, and that's gone wayward. Sometimes you see this from Senegal. It's almost as if they go to sleep because they relax almost completely. And then, as you said, they've come back against Zimbabwe. They came back against Eswatini, where they trailed by 2-0 in the semi-final. And one would have thought, well, Eswatini looking very good here, which they did do. And then the goals from Gite and Kane in the second half, and a sliding challenge over here once again. The referee's got the card out, and
to a player that has been already been booked.
No, it's not him that was booked, it was Nigu that was booked.
Yes. Oh man, that got me worried. The thing is, obviously that would have been an advantage to Bafana, but sometimes you don't feel too good when that happens, because it just spoils the party, in the sense that you start to feel that the other team had an unfair advantage in the process. This is a final, and that would have been a spoiler. It would be nice to see Bafana, the young Bafana really working hard, developing character from all this. That's a chopping tackle. Bookable, without a doubt.
There's a bit of a protest from the Senegalese bench, but yeah, 2 yellow cards. Both of the centre-backs got into the book, Migu and Alhaj Kane. Now it looks as if the coach himself, is that Marikoto? That's got to take leave of the dugout for Senegal.
Does he pick up his belongings and leave?
Certainly looks like it.
Listen, he was telling me that he knows the president of CAF very well, so he might just have a little bit more time up there in the suit to spend with the president.
Marikoto, apparently for unforeseen language. The final minutes of regulation time in the first half. South Africa 0, Senegal 0 in the COSAFACup final. Another tough challenge going down in the middle of the park, and this time it's a yellow card for Daruk. Dien, who's gone down.
Another chopping tackle. Daruk actually took time to find out exactly what is how do you pronounce your surname? Daruk. Okay, thank you. For the longest time I've been calling him Daruk.
we were instructed that it was Daruk this week.
He eyes me.
Senegal will be happy that Dien is back on his feet, although he is limping rather awkwardly, and is that a further protest? Is that Koto back out of the dressing room again because he's going to get shortchanged by the fourth official, Brighton Chimene from Zimbabwe, and off he goes once again. Senegal looking to end the first half on the attack. 1 minute of time was added on, by the way, by referee Audrey Nkole from Zambia. Long throw, looking for the near post flick on, which happens. Enough though to beat Feli Motwa. And that will bring the whistle to the mouth of referee Audrey Nkole and bring the first half to an end. It's been a little bit stop-start, a little bit here and there.